Okay, let's talk about secondary dominance. So a secondary dominant is also known as an applied dominant. And what we're doing is we're taking chords and we're altering them so they sound like a dominant seventh chord. So what we're doing is we're tonicizing a chord. So tonicization means applying a dominant seventh chord to enhance a non-tonic triad. So you're still staying in the original key. So what I'm really doing is I'm saying, 4, I want to make you feel special. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into whatever key 4 is. I'm going to write a dominant seventh because I want 4 or 6 or whatever to feel special. So I'm going to show you some stuff, but the way we say it is, you can see at the bottom of the screen where it says 5/6 and then 6. It's 5 of 6. So it's 5 in the key of 6. So let's just look at this real quick. If you have a regular progression in C major, like 6 and then 3, and then 6, we're in a circle progression. And that might sound like this. Which is kind of normal, okay? But if we want 6 to feel super special, we might make it 5 of 6. So instead of just, we're gonna go it's subtle, but it's there. Okay, characteristics of secondary dominance. Again, if I go through this too fast and you need to pause it to copy everything down, please do that. So the chord has to be a major triad. So we're altering things, or a major minor seventh chord if we've made it into a seventh chord. If there's no accidental, it's probably diatonic. We're making it different. Number 2, secondary dominants are called altered chords because they contain non-diatonic notes or notes not found in the original key. Secondary dominants are going to resolve to their temporary tonics, meaning if I'm doing 5 of 6, it's going to resolve to 6 exactly the way a 5 chord is going to resolve to tonic in the key. So the new leading tone is going to go up, the 7th of the chord is going to come down. The chord to which secondary dominants progress is called the tonicized chord. And secondary dominants can follow other secondary dominants. It doesn't happen very often. If you want to look at it in the book, it's figure 15.2. Going on, and this is really important, secondary dominants can be found in inversion, and they are found in inversion. Number 7, this is kind of really interesting. I like this. The secondary dominant of 4 is actually a tonic chord, is actually 1. Therefore, if you're in the triad form, it's not going to be a secondary dominant. So if you're going to find 5 of 4, it's always going to be 5/7 of 4. Okay? The voice leading, always going back to the voice leading. For secondary dominants, it's the same as dominant seventh chords. You have to resolve the 7th of the chord down. Chop off its head, okay? For smoothness, as with other 7th chords, you can omit the 5th and double the root. Okay, secondary leading tone chords. Because 7 is also has a dominant function, we can use 7 as a secondary chord as well. So one of the most typical secondary chords is the applied 7/7, and they're going to function exactly the way secondary dominants do. Secondary leading tone chords are only going to have 3 qualities. You can have a diminished triad, a half diminished 7th chord, or a fully diminished 7th chord. Fully diminished are the most common. They're also going to resolve to the temporary tonic. Again, the root of a 7/7 chord is the leading tone, so it's going to go up. And if we've created a new leading tone, that is going to resolve up. The 7th is going to resolve down. And they're going to emphasize predominance and dominance exactly the way secondary dominants do. Finally, the resulting chord of a secondary leading tone chord is also a tonicized chord. Again, secondary leading tone chords can occasionally follow other leading tone chords, and all the voice leading rules are still going to apply. What we're doing is we're just adding an accidental to make another chord feel special. We are still staying in the original key. That, my friends, is secondary dominance.